Hello, good morning everyone. How are you today? I hope you all having a very, very beautiful long weekend. I know I did. It was great. I got to go to the beach all weekend for 3 days in a row. My absolute favorite thing in the world to do. So it was very good for me. Some nice downtime. But now I'm back, and today I want to talk about why you never have to diet again. Okay, so I am Kelsie Michaud, and I'm a certified health and life coach, and I help people to gain control of emotional eating so that they can just feel really good about the choices that they make, about themselves, and just feel so super healthy and confident and live this wonderfully powerful life. Hey Tracy, how are you? Thank you for coming on. So I'm going to tell you that I'm never going to diet again. And I can say this with absolute confidence because I know that diets don't work. I've been there, done that way too many times for way too long. And I also know that, my younger years, whenever I was on a diet, I was completely miserable. It was no fun. Definitely not a fun way to live. And the thing was, I'd always lose the weight, when I was on the diet, but, I always felt hungry and I always felt deprived. And I hated feeling deprived. I hated that feeling. That's what made me so miserable to begin with. And yeah, I'd lose some weight, but it would only come back because I'd end up binging or going crazy at some point, and then I'd be stuck in that yo-yo cycle. So I'm really curious if what I went through, if what I'm talking about, if that resonates with you, if that's something that you can relate to, or if you were on a diet, or if you've even been just a chronic dieter. Maybe you have just broken your current diet that you're on and you're really desperate to just find another way. Because really, who wants to be on a diet? Just saying that sounds so restrictive. So if you're thinking you're at your goal weight, even say you get to your goal weight, but you had to starve yourself to get there because you were just drinking shakes or just eating clean but tasteless food. That's no fun, and that's not a normal way to live either. So when you are dieting and hungry, I'm going to tell you what's actually happening, what's happening in your brain. When you're dieting and hungry, your brain responds differently to those really yummy, tasty looking foods than it would if you were not on that diet, okay? And the areas of the brain that become unusually active are they're going to make you more likely to notice food, and it actually causes you to pay more attention to it, and it makes it look that much more tempting than it usually would if you weren't feeling like you were deprived or on a diet. And these are your signals to eat, okay? And at the same time, your decision-making part of the brain is actually reduced, and you're less likely to resist your impulses. So, either one of those responses would make you more likely to indulge, but when you put them together, it just makes it so much harder because your ability to resist, it's like your ability is just taking a little nap. It's taking a little snooze at that point, okay? Because it's when you most need its support, okay? And to make matters worse, this response has actually been found to be particularly strong in people who were obese, and it also gets stronger the longer you diet. So if you have any questions at all as I go along, please feel free to pop it in the comments. I'm happy to answer your questions for you. So there's also our hormonal changes, okay? Our hormones will change when we're on a diet. And as you diet and lose weight, you lose body fat. But many of us think of, body fat as that blubbery stuff that just kind of sits under our skin and it makes us look fat. It keeps us warm, it helps us float in the water, these are all our thoughts that we think of about body fat. But body fat is actually an active part of our endocrine system, okay? Hey Antoinette, good morning, how are you? And it actually produces hormones that are involved in the sensations of our hunger, okay? Our hunger and our fullness. And as you lose body fat, the amount of these hormones that are circulating, going through your body, it's changing in your body, okay? So the levels of hormones that help you to feel full are going to decrease when you're restricting, okay? And I love you too, Antoinette. I love you so much. You're awesome. And the levels of hormones that make you feel hungry are going to actually increase, okay? So just like with changes in our brain patterns, these hormone changes are going to give you that urge to eat. Okay, so that's why you're feeling hungry. You're like, oh, wait, why am I hungry? You're trying to like stop yourself from being hungry, but it's just your body's survival mechanism kicking in. Okay, and there was actually a study that found that these changes in hormone levels were detectable in people even a year after they stopped dieting. Okay, so while these changes in our brain reactivity and our hormone production are pushing you to eat more, your metabolism is affected too. All right, and it changes partly because okay, now you've gotten thinner. All right. Hey Patricia, how are you? Thanks for coming on. You've gotten thinner, and it's partly due to the effects of what it actually perceives to be starvation, all right? And whether or not you're dieting, your metabolism is affected by your weight, all right? And it takes energy, all right? It takes energy to run all of the metabolic processes in your body every day, all right? So let's see, Antoinette, you should consider... That's funny. Thank you. I've thought about it. Maybe I'll think more about that now. But yes, so sorry, my connection's going back and forth, but hopefully I can get this information out before it cuts me off again. So it takes energy to run all of these metabolic processes in your body every single day. All right. So the more you weigh, the more energy your body actually burns just to keep you alive. All right. And when you lose weight, even if starvation, even if it has no effect on your metabolism, your body will still burn fewer calories just because it's now a smaller body. It's a smaller body that it needs to run. Okay, does that make sense? Let me know if that's making sense for you or if you have any questions, all right? So this means that the number of calories that you ate to lose weight eventually becomes too many calories to eat if you want to keep losing weight. Okay, that's why we need to constantly keep decreasing as we go along when we're like so-called dieting. Okay, all right. And the thing is, on top of that, starvation also has an effect on your metabolism because there's not enough food coming in, so your metabolism is going to just slow down. All right, because why? Because it needs to conserve your energy. All right? Because unfortunately, this doesn't make you feel fuller longer or help you lose weight. It's actually the opposite. It uses each calorie in the most efficient way possible, which allows your body to actually run on even fewer calories than it would need to just based on your own body size, okay? So more calories are left unused and then end up being stored as fat. So when you aren't taking in enough calories, if you're like in that starvation mode, your body makes storing those calories like its number one priority. It's going to store those calories as fat, okay? That's its number one priority if you're not taking in enough. All right, so a lot of times I hear people say, I've cut down my calories so far, I'm eating all the right things, I don't understand, why am I not losing weight? Could just simply be you're not eating enough. You're not giving your body enough of what it needs, okay? And that's where intuitive eating comes in. If you're honoring your hunger, if you're not ignoring it or overriding it and giving your body what it needs at that time, then it's almost nearly impossible to get into that starvation mode, okay, where your body's going to store fat because it doesn't know when its next meal is coming. That's how your body feels, okay? So regardless of, like, this is so crazy. Like, your body makes storing those calories as fat its number one priority, regardless of the dietary fat content of whatever you just ate, all right? Antoinette says, fuel to live, number one starvation. Sorry, my connection is... Come on, my connection. And yes, honor your hunger. Absolutely, you got it. You got it down. You're like, you could be my sidekick over here. You should come over. We'll do it together. So this actually means, in certain cases, even non-fat foods can be stored as fat. Crazy, isn't it? That I know that probably is blowing your mind right now. It blows my mind. And what's even more crazy about this is that means a person who loses weight to reach like a 150-pound goal, for example, is not the same physiologically as a person who normally weighs 150 pounds. So to maintain 150 pounds after dieting down to that weight, to maintain 150 pounds, you have to eat fewer calories than somebody who's already at 150 pounds, who has been all along, okay? Not to mention fewer calories per day than they ate to get to that weight, or else they'll gain weight, okay? And that's why it's really frustrating. What's so frustrating to me is that people will blame the weight that they regained on their self-control or their willpower, or even though they're probably eating less food, all right? So to maintain your new weight, hey Lena, how are you? To maintain your new weight, you have to kind of fight this evolution. You know, you have to fight biology. You have to fight your brain, all right? You have to fight your metabolism too. These are the ways your body tries to protect you from starvation, okay? And it's not a fair fight because you're struggling so hard, but it's nearly impossible to fight against these things, okay? This is just nature. It's simply how our bodies are made, and that's like our survival mechanisms that kick in for us, okay? So when you think you're eating, you know, a nice low amount of calories, and you're not understanding why you're not losing weight or even why you're gaining weight, and it's just so mind-boggling to you, all that I just mentioned is exactly why, okay? So besides all of this that I just mentioned, I want to share with you 3 main reasons why I'll never diet again, and you shouldn't either, okay? So number 1, diets cause you to think about food all the time. Am I right? I know it did for me, especially when I was dieting or yo-yoing or restricting and binging, okay? And it's kind of like, you know, I was in that mode. It's like, okay, what did I eat yesterday? What did I eat before? What am I eating now? What am I going to eat later? What will I eat tomorrow? You know, that's exhausting and it's frustrating. You know, food should not be the center of your day. Food should not take over your entire brain, all right? There's so much more to life that you can be doing rather than thinking about food all the time, right? And number 2, diets cause you to feel guilty even when you're eating something that you think that you should not be eating. So the diet lists foods for you to choose and foods that you should avoid, right? But what happens if you want to eat a food that's on that avoid list? Well, you know, what usually happens when you're told you can't have something? Yep, you want it more. Okay, that's just how our body and brain work. You can deny yourself for only so long, okay? So you'll indulge in those guilty feelings or that negative self-talk that goes back and forth in your brain. So you don't think that maybe it's time to, you know, maybe let's quiet those voices and try to turn them into something a little more positive. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay. Tracy, hi, how are you? Let's see. Yes, every time I try to read a comment, my connection goes. Let's see. It is ridiculous how aware of food I am when I'm trying to lose weight. Yes, thank you. That is exactly what I'm saying when I'm talking about today. And this is exactly why, sorry, my dog is ringing her doorbell. Let me shut that off. Exactly why. Sometimes you're not giving your body enough of what it needs. We restrict too much. Yes, you want to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight, absolutely. But a lot of times we restrict too much. And when we do that, that's when our body is going to fight against us, okay? And we're not going to win. Our body's going to win because your body is so afraid. So it goes into that starvation mode because it's so afraid of, it doesn't know when it's going to get its next piece of food. It doesn't know when it's going to get its next meal. That's how you're making it feel. So it's going to hold on to absolutely everything you've got, everything you've given it so far. It's holding on to that. It's not letting go, okay? So if you're getting on that scale and you're wondering, oh gosh, I've been eating so good. Well, I'm doing so good. Why? I'm so frustrated. Why isn't the scale moving? Or why am I not losing weight? Or why am I gaining weight? What is going on? Okay? We need to give our bodies we're energy. We are full of energy, okay? We have energy just coursing through us all the time. We have all these meridian points that are flowing with energy. So our body needs fuel. It needs fuel to live properly, okay? And if you want to burn more calories, you need to eat more calories, okay? There's that fine line. You don't want to overeat, but there's that fine line. And that's exactly what I help my clients with, because I really pinpoint and hone in on exactly what they're doing, where they're at, where I can come in and just, fix everything for them to make sure that they're eating everything in the right amounts, the right times, all this that's going on, also things with your sleep, with your stress. So many things are involved when it comes to weight loss and just our overall health, okay? So just being in a calorie deficit is not always going to get us to our weight loss goal, okay? And this whole dieting industry is exactly why it actually hurts us more sometimes than can be a positive thing for us. So, the thing is, number 3, let me get to, diets cause you to actually lose trust in your own food decisions, okay? Because the last time I checked, I'm the owner of my body. I own my own, I know my own inner signals and my own inner cues that my body sends to me and my own thoughts, and I can certainly make decisions about what I want to eat. I don't need the diet industry or any particular diet to tell me what and when to eat, okay? I'm the boss and you're the boss, right? Got that? Okay, so I think that because I can tell myself what I need and when I need it, you can too, absolutely. Because the problem with diets is that almost by definition, you have to forbid yourself from eating all sorts of foods, okay? And sometimes you miss out on that variety of foods and nutrients and vitamins and minerals that your body really, really needs, okay, to function at its optimal level. And sometimes, we go on these diets for a period of time, longer than a week. Antoinette, I am my own boss. You are such a boss. You are like boss lady for sure. I love it. So when you're on a diet, you may think more about food in general because you're hungry, okay? These diets make us hungry. You shouldn't be hungry all day long, okay? First of all, you don't want to live that way. And it's not a healthy, sustainable way to live. And when you're hungry all day long, that's why you kind of fall off the wagon or blow off the diet, because you're just starving for so long that you're like, I just need food. And then you have that binge, right? Or we eat something that we feel like we shouldn't have eaten, and then we feel bad and we feel guilty about it. And there's no reason to feel bad or guilty about eating something that you really wanted, right? Okay, so when you're on a diet, you're gonna think more about that food in general because you're so hungry. And you will especially think about those very foods that you consider to be forbidden, all right? And this just makes that job of avoiding and resisting those foods just that much harder and that much more frustrating, okay? Let me know if this is resonating with you. Let me know if these are things you're going through, if this is something that you deal with or you have dealt with from dieting or being a chronic dieter. Because now what I do is I eat in a way that does not restrict. I used to, yes, I admit it. I used to restrict and then I used to binge. And, I thought I was being so healthy while I was restricting, but really not, because I was feeling deprived and I was miserable. And when you're not happy, that affects your health too, okay? So now I eat in a way that I do not restrict and I enjoy all the foods. And because of that, I no longer binge or go crazy on any one particular food, or any particular food for that matter. I honor my hunger and I respect my fullness, and I enjoy eating intuitively, okay? I have discovered intuitive eating, and what a game changer it is. It's opened a whole new world for me. I'm a much happier person. I feel that weight lifted off me. I feel much freer, which in itself is that's the definition of happiness right there. Tracy, makes sense, totally. I'm glad that it's making sense for you. And the thing is, now that I'm eating intuitively, first of all, I wish I learned of it so much sooner, But now that I'm eating intuitively, now I'm able to teach others to do the same. Okay, so I would love to hear your thoughts. Do you resonate with any of the side effects of dieting that I just discussed? And how will you break from that vicious cycle if you are stuck in it? And let me know in the comments below. I'd love to chat with you. Or if you'd like help breaking free from this world of dieting and you'd like to eat more intuitively as well, while being able to meet all your health and your wellness goals, feel free to reach out, because I'm happy to discuss what would be your best next step for you to move forward. Okay, Tracy, love that. Honor, hunger, respectfulness. Absolutely. Those are 2 of the 10 principles of intuitive eating. There are 10 principles to intuitive eating, and that's 2 of them right there. And it's pretty simple. It's not hard. It's natural. It's fun. It's easy. And that's why I come on and I preach about getting away from the diet, and losing the diet mentality is actually principle number 1 of intuitive eating. And it takes time. It takes practice, just like with anything. If you're new to it, anything you're new to takes a little time to learn, right? It takes a little time and practice, but it doesn't take long to get into it and to realize that you will really enjoy it and you'll benefit from it. Not just physically, not just the physical changes, but mentally you will change. And making that mind-body connection is about overall health, overall healthy person, okay? So let me know if you guys have any questions. Throw them in the comments for me. If you would like to jump on a call with me anytime, feel free to PM me, and we can chat about, maybe if you're feeling a little stuck or frustrated or just have some questions, we can jump on a call and I can talk to you about maybe where you are now and see about where you'd like to go and what we can do about it from there. So I'm going to hop off if there's no questions right now, but I hope you all have a very beautiful day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.